Good morning, everyone. This is Ollin Vic with a symbolic interpretation. Stop and smell the roses. The origins of the phrase, wake up and smell the coffee, is a modern conflation of two earlier, more famous idioms, wake up and smell the coffee and stop and smell the roses. It advises people to slow down and appreciate the small things in life. Walter Hagen, famous golfer, wrote, "You're only here for a short visit. Don't hurry, don't worry, and be sure to smell the flowers along the way." The phrase is a moral call abrupt to action, urging people to become aware of a difficult reality. And it's a call to awareness and appreciation for life, made popular also by Ann Landers in the 1960s. According to the book Aspire by Kevin Hall, when you breathe life into, you inspire, you give. When you breathe life out, you expire, you take away. According to Eric Doley in A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose, when you breathe in, you create spacious stillness. When you're breathing in and you have a lot of frustration going on up here in the top of your trees, the act of breathing stops the thinking. Like Eric Doley says, attempt to breathe in and be upset up here at the same time. See if it works. Some of the psychological effects of deep breathing, according to a quick study: generate calmness, improve mood, attention, and emotional regulation, lower stress hormones, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, resets psychological tension, improves mood and regulation, increases positive emotions, enhances emotional stability, reduces depression, boosts cognitive performance, improves attention, supports decision-making, increases brainwave activity. Interception, slow dope breathing can help you increase your awareness of internal bodily sensations and psychological effect of a deep breath. The nervous system activates the parasympathetic nervous system, lowers stress hormone levels, promotes mental clarity, cardiovascular effects, reduces heart rate and blood pressure, increases heart rate variability, increases venous return, optimizes gas exchange, strengthens the diaphragm, reduces work of breathing. Other physiological effects: improves digestion, eases muscle tension. So what does this symbolically mean? When you breathe life into, right, you're going ahead and you're giving a part. But also, when you breathe, like the physiology behind it is like, right, and even it stops your mind, especially when you're like just overwhelmed or flustered with issues and problems. And like the top of your tree is like, right? Remember, the tree roots, that's what holds the top of your tree. When you breathe life into, you're giving, right? And when you take away, you expire. Now, when you add new air to a fire, what happens? It burns cleaner, right? Air, a renewable, free, clean, renewable source of energy for our fires. This calms the winds at the top of the tree. It also goes ahead and physiology, right? You breathe in, right? You breathe in new air, new fuel, and you let go of what? CO2. You let go of things you don't need. You see how your body naturally will do this for you? That's the reminder. This is symbolic of the letting go, right? It stops everything. It reminds you to what? First of all, smell the coffee. Take a deep breath so everything stops. And then that thing you stopped, you let it go. You expire. Sorry, our face isn't a nice face. We wish we're more handsome or something, but right, that's it. This creates that spacious stillness within that Eric Doley like refers to, right? Because then everything becomes still. Even you relax, you're like, oh, you chuckle with your core, and you're like, oh yeah, right. I was flustered at what? My own things. Why? Because we're not seeing the reality. Right now that you've already got your air, you've breathed in the coffee. Now you could drink your coffee, which is what? Coffee is what? Dark. Coffee is bitter. But coffee wakes us up. Coffee takes off the grogginess, right? We can't start without the Java. Meaning what? Symbolically, we cannot breathe in and enjoy our coffee, right? If we don't accept the reality, and it doesn't matter where we go to get our coffee, which of our favorite chains, or we make it at home. Coffee is coffee. You can add all these additives, sweetness, sugar, creamers, flavors, right? Identities, concepts, ideas, right? Roles. But at the very end, right? It's coffee. You're you. You're the roots of your tree, not your treetops. So when you drink your coffee, right? You smell and you drink your coffee, you're accepting the bittersweetness of life. Sometimes we forget by adding too many flavors and too many things that coffee is bittersweet. It wakes us up, but it's dark, it's robust, it's flavorful. Sometimes there's too much coffee, people with heartburn, it gives us acidity. Hey, like, oh, geez. Or we're like, oh, too much. Right? Too much darkness. Too much sweetness in the darkness, right? We try to take away. And a good for my thing, maybe this is an old quote, Carl Jung, a war and peace, a mild wound, a sweet evil. There is a philosopher that said that, is not us. But, right, life is that bittersweetness. So, when we sit with others, right, and we're like, hey, we're all together on this journey of life. We're not independent. We're independent, right? But we're also interdependent of others, as Stephen Covey teaches. Which means we can't throw others away and be like, oh, like, well, let's enjoy. Let's remember to breathe in together and sit down and drink our coffee together. How many times do we sit there and we say, oh, hey, how are you doing? And our response is good. And now here we nitpick another word symbolically. Good? You're good? As in like good like a cheeseburger? Good like a foot rub? Good like a vacation? Good like a few days off? Good like a frolic with your partner? Good like as in a long walk, a hike, like a new car smell good? Like, what kind of good are you? Oh, good. So, maybe instead of expressing like generalizations, if we're around people we trust, let's create spaces for us to open up. Because we go to these places sometimes to get all this advice from these professionals, and we find that you learn more about the professionals than we figured out about ourselves. You know why? Because not everyone works through their stuff. So we're here. We do have our peer support certification through the state of Wisconsin. Talk about different and symbolic stuff in a way. But we're here because we're on this journey together. We've been in our shoes. And some of you know the shoes we've been through. Like, oh, geez, this dude, bro. Like, what's... Yeah. So we're all going to grow together. This is what it's about. Stopping and smelling and drinking our coffee together and not being like, oh, your coffee's too bitter or your coffee's too sweet, right? Or this, because that means we're not stopping and breathing in up here. And we're trying to separate each other by, oh, I can't, all this. No. Just breathe in, right? It's that fire. It's that fire that you add to, and then you're able to go ahead and you expire that stuff you don't need, so then that way you can pass those little bits of fire and inspiration on to others. So that was our symbolic interpretation of wake up and smell the coffee, the roses or the coffee. But hey, everyone, many blessings. We're all in this together. Yeah.